Welcome to the American Republic, your go-to channel for the latest conservative news updates. Stay informed and please don't forget to subscribe on our YouTube channel. Today we're discussing a story that has outraged millions of conservatives across the country. Texas Governor Greg Abbott has announced that he will intervene as far as state law allows to pardon former U.S. Army Sergeant Daniel Perry, who was convicted by a jury in liberal Austin after being charged with murder stemming from a shooting during BLM protests in the summer of 2020. This is a case that perfectly illustrates how out of control the progressive left has become in this country. A man defending himself against a violent mob is now facing life in prison simply because he exercised his Second Amendment rights. Perry's attorneys argued that he was acting in self-defense, and yet he was still found guilty of murder. It's a travesty of justice, and it's clear that the left is more interested in pushing their radical agenda than in protecting the rights of law-abiding citizens. This is why Governor Abbott's decision to pardon Perry is so important. He is standing up for the rule of law and ensuring that justice is served in this case. He is showing that Texas will not be held hostage by the radical left and their dangerous agenda. It's worth noting that Perry was driving for Uber when he encountered a large group of protesters illegally blocking city streets. According to the police, these protests were part of the weeks-long rioting in Austin and elsewhere. Perry's defense team claims that the protesters encircled his vehicle and started hitting it, and among them was Garrett Foster, who was carrying a semi-automatic rifle. Perry's team claimed that Foster raised the firearm at Perry, forcing him to use his legally carried handgun in self-defense and shoot Foster. When Garrett Foster pointed his AK-47 at Daniel Perry, Daniel had 0.2 of a second to defend himself. He chose to live, said Doug O'Connell, an attorney for Perry, and yet, the left is more interested in pushing their anti-gun agenda than in protecting the rights of law-abiding citizens. They want to take away our right to defend ourselves, even in the face of violent mobs that are destroying our communities. Governor Abbott is right to stand up for the rights of Texans and to ensure that justice is served in this case. We need more leaders like him who are willing to stand up to the radical left and protect our freedoms and our way of life. We urge Governor Abbott to continue fighting for justice and to ensure that Daniel Perry is pardoned as quickly as possible. We also urge all Americans to stand up for their Second Amendment rights and to fight back against the radical left's dangerous agenda. That's it for today's episode of the American Republic. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more news updates.